Hello, my fellow Rubyists. Today is a great day because I have finally found some time to test Claude Code, a powerful terminal-based coding tool developed by Anthropic. Because it runs in the terminal, code works very well with your existing terminal tools. Code is designed for customized workflow, providing an extensible SDK and features like support for specialized subagents and hooks that allow you to run scripts at various points during the agent workflow. Code integrates with GitHub Actions and, of course, supports the Model Context Protocol. Claude Code is optimized specifically for code understanding and generation and uses Claude Opus 4 or Claude Sonnet 4. Anthropic offers a free plan and two paid plans, Pro and Max. The major difference between the two is usage limits. I also noticed that when using the Pro plan, which is the plan I purchased, I am not able to change the model to Claude Opus 4, so all requests are handled by Sonnet 4, which is fine for me because I use Sonnet for development all day, every day, and have great success with it. If I decide to use Code after trying it out, I may opt to go with the Max plan, as I am sure I will run out of usage with the Pro plan, and I would like to take Opus 4 for a spin. Fortunately, Anthropic has coupled their powerful coding tool with outstanding documentation. Installing code is as simple as installing a global npm package, which will install the Claude binary. Similar to the Aider coding tool, you interact with Claude Code using / commands. You can see these commands here, or you can always access them in the terminal with the /help. Claude has a powerful feature they call memory. Similar to cursor rules, memory allows you to create documentation for the agent and model that has persisted across sessions. Things like coding standards, style guidelines, and project technologies. Memory can be global or project-based and provides the ability to import multiple memory files, allowing to organize those files in different directories. Today, I will be building the same application I built using Cursor in my last video, but I'll be using Claude Code. When I am done, I will share my opinion between the two, taking into consideration the advantage Cursor has since I have been using it daily for over 8 months. The application I will be building is a stock portfolio tracking application with a focus on stocks and ETFs that pay dividends. I have already set up the Rails project with my favorite configuration using Tailwind for CSS, SQLite, import maps, and Rails 8 authentication. I have already installed Claude Code, so I'm going to go ahead and start it in the terminal. So it looks like it gives me a warning letting me know that it's going to access all the files in this folder and it's asking for my permission, and I can just hit enter. And so now it's saying that I need to run the init command to create a memory file called Claude MD. So let's go ahead and do that. And go ahead and maximize this. So Claude is done analyzing my code base, and it gives me a little bit of a summary of what it found. And now it's asking if I want it to create the memory file, and I'm going to say yes. Now, taking a look at the memory file here, it looks like it's done a pretty good job outlining all of the commands that Rails that we can execute, as well as the authentication system, database schema, routes, front-end stack, and deployment configuration. Back on the Claude documentation memories page, I can see that Claude Code will automatically load memory files recursively if you follow their naming convention. So you don't actually have to import them. You do, however, if you have a file with an unconventional name, you can go ahead and use that as an import. Claude also gives you the ability to add to a memories file just by simply prefixing a memory with a hashtag. And then you'll be prompted to select which file you want to add it to. And you can also directly edit memories files with the /memory command. Okay, I'm going to jump right in by pasting in our first prompt. I'm assuming that this is the text that I copied, but it doesn't really show me, so we're going to give it a shot. And it looks like it is. It is, however, trying to use Claude Opus when I don't have the plan that supports it. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to Sonnet. Okay, that looks like it might be better. Let's try that again. Okay, it looks like it is finally underway. So you can see here, similar to one of the most recent cursor updates, it's going to give me a to-do list. And I'm guessing as it goes through these to-dos, it's probably going to check these off. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Shows me the step it's working on. It's highlighted. And yeah, it looks like it's checking things off as it goes. So I can see here under the prompt box here that we have auto accept edits on, and it looks like I can press Shift Tab if I want to turn it off, and then of course Shift Tab to turn it back on. So something that's kind of cool here, this last to do is updating the session forms, so the login forms and probably password reset to match the new layout styles, which is to say that it adds the light dark mode classes appropriately. And so it's finished now, and it's given us a pretty good summary of what it did. I think it took about 1 minute and 30 seconds to do all of this. So that's about on par with what it would take in Cursor, I believe. Now, when I go back over to the browser, I can see that it has implemented a pretty nice looking page so far. We have a light dark mode toggle right here, which I didn't ask for, but it put it there anyway. The way my request actually had it in a drop down after you're authenticated. This works good too. So now I'll just log in. I already created a test user. And we are on the dashboard. And the dashboard looks pretty good. This isn't what our dashboard is going to look like, but at least it kind of has a nice theme going here. And I see that I have my drop down here. The little toggle is now gone, and now it's in this menu, which I actually like that flow. And it looks like it works here as well. So let's test the sign out real quick. And it is done, and it looks really good. I'm just going to see if I can have Claude commit these changes. Okay, that's kind of interesting. It gives me the commit statistics. I'm not sure that I'm going to use that because it took it too long. I can do that in a terminal in about 3 seconds. But we'll see how it goes. I might give it a try again. I will say, however, the commit message is pretty nice. I never do anything like this. So that's a benefit, I guess, of having it do the commit. Before I go any further, I'm actually going to add some additional rules to the memory file. First one, to make sure to use Hotwire on this project to create a reactive experience. And I'm going to do it in the project memory. Next memory is to, when creating a new, to make sure to use the new 2-argument syntax. I find the models mess that up quite often. And the last one is to ignore lint errors for registering stimulus controllers. I find that it attempts to manually register them when you don't have to do that in Rails 8. Opening up my memory file, it's kind of interesting that it used some intelligence to determine where to put my new memory items. It put the Hotwire one in the front end stack, and the other two, it created 2 new sections and put them in there. And now on to the next prompt, which is to create the models for our project. Took it about 3 minutes to generate all those models, complete with, looks like some tests. I'm not sure if okay, it just created empty tests. So we'll want to implement those, but the models themselves and the migrations, and it looks like some test data. Gave me a good summary, and it says the models are ready to use. You can now create securities, track transactions, record dividend payouts, and automatically log changes to security data. So while we're on the models, I'm going to go ahead and have it actually create some model tests. Okay, now that the models and the model tests are done, we're going to go ahead and paste the next prompt, which is going to be creating the dashboard. And now it looks like it is finished implementing the dashboard, so we can go over and take a look at it. Okay, here we have a dashboard, and it looks pretty good. It did what I asked it to do. Up at the top here, we have a little bit of analytics regarding our performance, and it looks like it's created an add security, add transaction, add dividend button here, and we have general info and gains and losses. Doesn't look like the table is switching, and I'm getting an error here with the post. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to see if I can't get Claude to fix it. Okay, it claims it's fixed. We'll go see if it works. And now it is working properly. Now I'm going to have Claude create some seed data so that we can see if the table is rendering everything correctly. So it looks like it created seed data, even created a new user to associate to that. It wants us to run the seeds. And now I can go over to the browser and try it out with our new demo user. And it looks good. It looks like we have some seed data in here. These numbers are obviously a little wonky here. Let's go look at the gains loss table. And again, we have a wonky number here, but other than that, it looks like it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm just going to ask it to fix that problem and round them to 2 decimal places. Okay, and it is done. We'll go back to the dashboard and see how it looks. Okay, that looks a lot better. Now I'm going to run this prompt to get the modals for adding securities, transactions, and dividends working. Okay, Claude is done. It's given me a pretty good summary of what it did. Created a reusable modal component like I asked it to, using turbo frames to load the content, the stimulus controller, and then this controllers for our transactions, securities, and dividends, and just some nice features that it added here. So we're going to give it a try. Okay, so let's refresh the page and check our modals. And yes, looks like the add new security modal is opening up, and the cancel button is working. Add transaction is opening up, but it looks like the cancel button has a styling issue, but it does still work. And the add dividend is also opening. And let's try the X, and it looks like that works. So I think I'll just have it make a few changes to this. One change I'd like to have it make is these. I'd like to see a little bit more padding in these fields. They look a little tight. Okay, I had Claude make those few changes. Okay, yeah, these form fields look a lot better. And our cancel button has been fixed. And this one looks good as well. So I'm going to try adding a new security real quickly. Let's go with, and it looks like the security was added in the right place. So far we're in good shape. Let's try adding a transaction. I'm going to add some shares. Say I buy 100 shares, price per share. And so this would be, I'd like to add a little button here that says use current price. But I remember what I put for it, 76. So we'll add the transaction. And looks like it updated it. So our total value now reflects the new buy. And now I'm going to add a dividend to the same security. It's going to be today, and I'm going to add a $175 dividend. And look at that, it's updated. So this is working very well. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to have Claude work on is the security details page with this prompt. And I have a feeling this will take it a while. I'm asking a lot for a single prompt. Okay, Claude is done with our security show page, and it gave me a really good summary of what it did. So we're going to go take a look and see how it did. Okay, let's take a look and see how it did. I'm going to refresh the page, and then I will drill into Apple. And sure enough, we have our page, and it looks like it did a really good job on this page. We have exactly what I asked for, a little bit of statistical data up here, and then the ability to delete the security. This should give us a confirmation, I hope. Oh, no, it did not. So I'll need to fix that. It says it was deleted. That's okay. This is all just mock data. So we'll come in here. We should be able to edit the security. I'm going to change the price to 79. And yep, it did that right out of the gate. We have our transactions here. I'm going to change this one to, let's do 110 shares. And yep, that updated that too. So that's looking pretty good. I don't really want to delete that right now, but let's look at some of the payouts. This again is all mock data. Let's edit one of the payouts, and we're going to turn this one into, let's say, $36 so we recognize it. And yep, that updated just fine. Let's delete one of these dividend payouts. And that worked too. But again, we're not getting a confirmation, so that's the only problem. We can try adding a new transaction. We're going to do a buy transaction again. We're going to say we're going to buy 10 more shares of it and $150. Sure, we'll do that. And there we go, we have it. So that looks good, and I'm just going to delete that one, and it is gone. So as you can see, this application is pretty much complete, actually. There are a few other things that I would add to it, but for the most part, they're just minor little changes and a few fixes, obviously getting the confirmations working for deletes. So in the beginning of the video, I told you I would give you my opinion about Claude Code, and so here it is. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm very productive in Cursor because I have so many hours logged using it, but this was not a particularly difficult adjustment for me to make. Generally, they have about the same features and flows. I would say the advantages of Claude over Cursor are I love the extensibility of it. I could see myself working in some automation that might really help my workflow. Also, I like the memory feature. I think it's really cool. Specifically, I like the ability to import documents and how easy it is to add some rules directly from the prompt. Next, so far I really like the pricing model. For those who don't know, Cursor recently made some adjustments to their Pro plan limits. This month I hit my limit in 6 days, and now I'm paying API pricing, which will end up costing me nearly 10 times what I paid for the Pro plan. Claude takes a different approach. With their Pro plan, basically your limits are set for 5 hours. And so if you get close, it will start to warn you that you're getting close to that limit. And if you reach the limit, you can just wait for a little while and it will be reset. And by the way, I just started getting warnings right before I finish this application. I believe the advantages to Cursor over Claude is number one, the tab updates. I've gotten really used to those and I think they're fantastic. Also, I believe that Cursor feels a little bit more polished and navigating the chat history is visual and a little bit more intuitive. Also, I like the Control-K terminal assistance. I find that to be very intuitive. I was able to create and execute terminal commands in Claude, but it wasn't nearly as intuitive. Some of these Cursor advantages might go away as I get used to Claude. So for now, I will be keeping Claude and using it when I get close to my cursor limit or whenever else I feel like it. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.